Hello and welcome to VOS Red Carpet. My name is Jackson Vunganyi. I want to thank you for joining us today on the show. As always, each week right here on Red Carpet, we bring you the latest in entertainment news, in sports, in fashion, in film and television from around the world. Let's get on with the show. And we start with some history-making news in film. Candyman director Nia DaCosta is the first female director to have a film debut at #1 at the US box office, grossing $22 million in its first week. Not only that, the horror film by Universal Pictures and MGM is now the second highest grossing 3-day opening for a black female director, behind Ava DuVernay's A Wrinkle in Time. DaCosta's film is a sequel to the 1992 Candyman and delves into racism with the story of a black man killed for falling in love with a white woman. Jordan Peele and Win Rosenfeld joined DaCosta as writers on this film. So what is next for DaCosta? Well, directing The Marvels, which follows 2019's Captain Marvel, so look out for that. And in African film, a French initiative is aiming to help revive Sudanese movie making that withered under decades of ousted autocrat Omar al-Bashir. The AP has more on this. French filmmakers are going to collaborate with Sudanese filmmakers to help breathe life into Sudan's film industry. The move comes in collaboration with the Sudanese Ministry of Culture to revive the industry after years of neglect.
The movie industry is based on two concepts, the concept of screenings and the concept of production. The French initiative revolves around movie screenings through rehabilitating 16 different movie theaters, with the participation of the traditional government in Sudan. At the same time, we should not forget the industry's very long pause over the past 30 years.
Film production in Sudan declined during the rule of former President Omar al-Bashir, who spent 30 years in power before the military overthrew him in April 2019. Movie theaters were forced to shut down amid al-Bashir's lack of support to the cultural scene. Today, cinemas are deserted and neglected. Some serve as shelters for homeless people. Movie director Afra Saad believes the French initiative is going to give Sudanese filmmakers a boost.
We as filmmakers believe that the initiative will be very good for us. There will be production opportunities, and we will be able to support our economy and ourselves.
The director of the French Cultural Center in Khartoum, Fabrice Mongiat, says French filmmakers will be coming to Sudan to hold training sessions and workshops.
We as filmmakers believe that it will be very good for us. More chances will open up for us. There will be production opportunities, and we will be able to support our economy and ourselves.
According to Sudanese historians, the first movie screening in a Sudanese cinema was back in the 1920s. By the mid-1950s, there were more than 30 cinemas all over Sudan. But now, there's only one cinema left in Khartoum. As the midday sun beats down over Chad's capital N'Djamena, Appolinaire Guidimbaye sits on the concrete surrounded by boxes of ammunition. He's a renowned visual artist, and Guidimbaye makes art, not war, from spent bullets. Reuters has more. Check it out.
I try to work with spent shells and other war materials to give a rebirth, a metaphor of what shells can do. Instead of war and killing, I use the same shells that have bereaved women to talk about peace as a kind of remission.
Also known as Doff, the 38-year-old N'Djamena native is one of Chad's most acclaimed contemporary artists, bound together by a wide range of recycled materials. Guidimbaye's works have received numerous accolades and been mainstays in galleries throughout the region and abroad. But it wasn't until 2016, with his country facing a renewed insurgency, that Guidimbaye began incorporating spent bullets and shells from the battlefield into his art. Armed with a soldering iron and a blowtorch, Guidimbaye arranges the copper-toned cylinders into the shapes of flowers, mountains, and faceless human beings. Theirs are the silhouette of the nameless millions to have died in wars across the Sahel.
All those who fall during the war, whether on the side of friends or enemies, what do we do with them? Behind these people who die, there are families, widows, orphans, who spend their time crying, and this generates other hatreds. Today we find child soldiers, street children, children in slavery in all camps. If only their parents had not died in the war, would these children still be forced in child labor? No.
Guidimbaye has received support from the French government, routinely showcasing his works at exhibitions at the Chad French Institute. One of his most vocal proponents is none other than Bertrand Koheri, France's ambassador in N'Djamena.
I would say that to transform something that wasn't supposed to be anything anymore, something that is also a symbol of conflict, and give it a new dimension, a new life, these are the things he is able to express through his works.
For Guidimbaye, his ideal audience is one that looks below the surface, who seeks meaning in the materials he uses and draws parallels with their own lives.
There are guests who come and view the artworks in a hurry, and there are some who take all their time and try to detect the materials that I try to use. Afterwards, they have reaction, whether positive or negative. They then start asking me for explanations. Why do you use these materials, like shell casings and syringes and so on?
The clandestine sea route from the coasts of Senegal to Spain is a dangerous voyage for thousands of migrants. A group of African sidewalk vendors turned from hawking illegal pirated sneakers to marketing their own innovative and original brand of athletic shoes. Jonathan Spear narrates this VOA report from Alfonso Beato in Barcelona.
Many of those who survive the arduous sea journey to Spain find work selling fake copies of recognised name brand goods on the streets. It is an illegal trade, and they spend their days dodging the police. Advocates say the migrants' precarious status makes them vulnerable to exploitation.
There's someone or several people there in the chain of corruption who are getting rich from it and are taking advantage, which is the most delicate part of it, of exploitation. And not only the exploitation of their work, but of human suffering.
Some Senegalese migrants have come up with a unique way to address that situation. They formed an association 4 years ago to defend their rights and to comply with demands not to sell fake, knock-off items made in China. They created a brand called Top Manta to make original products. The latest, a sneaker. The product is 100% sustainable, made in Spain and Portugal with methods that reduce the carbon footprint. They say their brand provides an alternative to shoes made by large international corporations that they say are not as sensitive to the environment or supportive of local communities.
Nike, Adidas, todo esto, ellos son legales.
They are exploiting the environment. They are exploiting workers. We are not considered legal, yet we are doing something legal.
The shoes are labelled Andadem, which means walking together in Wolof, the Senegalese language spoken by many of Barcelona's sidewalk vendors.
This shoe is contributing to the economy of this country.
The cooperative has had the help of local companies and people like Sara, an award-winning designer in Barcelona.
To me, it is an added value, the effort we have all made in coming up with a shoe that is ethical and well made.
Top Manta has helped 120 street vendors, known here as manteros or mantle vendors, to take their enterprise beyond their canvases spread on sidewalks. The brand's production and sales numbers are taking off and now employs 25 people. For Alfonso Beato in Barcelona, John Spear, VOA News.
A year after singer AKON laid the first stone on the $6 billion futuristic city he vowed to build for his native Senegal, the site remains grassland. Here is an update from AFP. The stone itself sits at the bottom of a dirt track in a field. A small placard advertising the mega project has fallen off it. Construction of AKON City, a project due to feature ultra-modern twisting skyscrapers, was already meant to have begun near the Atlantic Ocean village of Modien. But building work is yet to start, prompting residents who were hoping for jobs to wonder about its future. AKON, a Senegalese-American singer-songwriter, launched his eponymous city in September 2020. To great fanfare and international media attention, the city's otherworldly design is partly inspired by Wakanda, he said at the time, referring to the fictional African city of the Black Panther Marvel movie and comic series. AKON city planners also said that it will be a beacon of innovation and human development that will boost industry in the West African state of Senegal. A stadium, casino, luxury high-rise apartment complexes, and an education district that will accommodate the most prestigious universities in the world are also part of the plans. And in some music news, two names that you might know very well are doing quite well when it comes to packing arenas. Burna Boy returned to the stage for his first ever headline show with a full house at the O2 Arena in London, known as the second largest indoor venue in the UK. The crowd was excited and Burna Boy showed up in a giant spaceship, that is. The concert was part of his 4-country tour for Twice as Tall, his Grammy-winning studio album, with Los Angeles, Paris, and Amsterdam up next. Meanwhile, another Nigerian star, Wizkid, is also scheduled to perform at the O2 Arena in November as part of his Made in Lagos album tour, but already has sold-out show with tickets selling in just 12 minutes. Now, that is what you call having a loyal fan base. And we close the show with some more music news. One artist is beating his own record. That is Drake. He beat his own record for single day streams on Spotify with his new album, Certified Lover Boy. His album Scorpion previously held the record with 132 million single day streams. Not to mention that on Apple Music, Certified Lover Boy turned out to be the most streamed album in a day this year in less than 12 hours. Originally planned for a January 2021 release, the highly anticipated album features a ton of artists, including Nicki Minaj, Jay-Z, Future, Travis Scott, Lil Wayne, Young Thug, 21 Savage, Ty Dolla $ign, Kid Cudi, Rick Ross, and Lil Baby. And with that, we come to the end of our show today. I want to thank you for hanging out with me. My name is Jackson Vunganyi. For more entertainment news, remember to check us out at voanews.com. We are also on all social media platforms, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube, where you can watch our videos. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, goodbye, everyone.